Thank you, Mr. Klein, for that introduction. President Rivlin, Ministers Peretz and Yankelovich, Ambassador Derma, Mr. Yaakov Haguel, and our hosts, Mr. Makov and Mr. Segal. What an honor to be here at the Olam conference, albeit virtually, from Detroit, Michigan. And very grateful to Makor Rishon for creating this opportunity for dialogue about the critical issues facing the Jewish people. The tragic and unthinkable incident that occurred in Meron last week reminds each of us of the fragility of life and the need and, in fact, obligation to use every moment to help sustain and uplift the world, to do our part as individuals and as a collective, to find more pathways for unity, more kindness, and more connectivity to the Jewish people. The State of Israel and its wonderful citizens carry a heavy burden to shine its light of Jewish life and Jewish pride far beyond its borders. COVID-19 provided one such moment to highlight what one country can do to defeat a universal enemy and to share its lessons and success with the rest of the world. The great teacher and leader of worldwide Jewry in the last century, Rabbi Yisroel Meir HaKohen, known affectionately and lovingly as the Chafetz Chaim, said it best: "A world without kindness, without caring, lacking in efforts to uplift each other is simply and only a four-legged chair that wobbles beneath and threatens to overturn and fall over." He derives this teaching from a remarkable passage in Isaiah that describes that even God's throne of glory can only be established through acts of kindness. The rabbis teach us so profoundly and with such clarity that God's throne can be compared to that of a shaky chair that wasn't complete until God himself supported it from underneath with kindness and love and compassion. I have the privilege to be the chairman of Mosaic United, which represents proudly Israel's deep desire to partner with Jewish organizations around the world to strengthen and uplift global Jewry in every corner of the world. I remember well the moment 5 years ago when I was asked by the Director General of the Ministry of Diaspora Affairs, Devir Kahana, and his then boss, Minister of Diaspora Affairs, Naftali Bennett, to help lead this effort, and how amazed I was at how brilliant and prophetic this opportunity was. Minister Bennett said it best: "In order to ensure the continued strength and vitality of the State of Israel and the Jewish people," he said, "we must do everything possible to bring every member of the Jewish people, wherever they are, in every corner of the globe, closer and closer to their Jewish roots." And how could we possibly accomplish this feat? By bringing more and more effort, more Jewish knowledge and scholarship, more engagement and more connectivity to the Jewish people everywhere. In effect, what Mosaic represents is the ultimate kindness, the ultimate acts of chesed, by making available the wherewithal to strengthen Jewish identity and the sustainability of the Jewish people. Bougie Herzog and the Jewish Agency understood it well by partnering with Mosaic in Shalom Corps, a far-reaching worldwide effort to bring more young Jews into Jewish volunteerism, creating more activity and adding more Jewish content, and learning in every interaction. Essentially engaging our young people to repair the world with a strong dose of Jewish education and culture and tradition. One of those outstanding volunteers from the Shalom Corps program, Gabriella Strigler-Lew, who just last month, in recognition of her completing 10 humanitarian missions, was honored with representing Jews around the world by being selected to light the diaspora torch at the official Yom HaAtzmaut ceremony on Mount Herzl. Not only has Gabriella served others, but as a result of this effort, she is learning, growing, and strengthening her own Jewish identity and connection to Israel. Israel and its Prime Minister, the Honorable Benjamin Netanyahu, are clearly reflective of the new reality of the Jewish people. Jewish identity, Jewish knowledge, Jewish education, and Jewish tradition are the key path to keeping worldwide Jewry connected to their roots and deeply and indelibly aligned with Israel. Mosaic is poised perfectly with Israel's continuing strategy for birthright, taglit, and masa. It is these efforts that underscore the obligation of the State of Israel and the central place it must take, and its responsibility for worldwide Jewry. Frankly, there is no more time for studies, analysis, and consultation. Today is a time for action, and must be the defining principle of our generation. Our Mosaic College campus pillar, bringing together three outstanding campus providers, Hillel International, Olam, and Chabad on campus, have united to reach over 100,000 students worldwide. It has been an historic opportunity for the Israeli government to effect, through the good offices of Mosaic, leaders of the Jewish people of the future. Let me share the story of Rachel Landy, one such wonderful success story. Rachel used to call herself a high holiday Jew, a very American moniker for those very disconnected from their Jewish life and roots. Her Jewish journey began with the Jewish Learning Fellowship, a 10-week course sponsored by Mosaic United. Through that experience, Rachel discovered for the very first time a hidden passion for Jewish education. Soon after, Rachel became a regular at Hillel on campus and began an even more in-depth and sustainable connection to the Jewish people and her roots. Today, Rachel is committed to a regular and ongoing regiment of Jewish learning, with a real commitment to build a strong Jewish family for her own future. Mosaic is a partnership between Israel and global Jewry, based on the inalienable principle that Zionism and connectivity to the State of Israel is inexorably tied to a strong and vibrant Jewish identity. This is a true partnership, both conceptually and financially. In effect, a deeper sense of Jewish identity nearly always fosters a deeper commitment to Israel and its people. Mosaic's enduring value is evidence of the fact that it has survived through 4 different ministers of the diaspora, notwithstanding the political leanings of each minister. And our current leader, Minister Yankelovich, has a deep passion and remarkable commitment to the strength and vitality of Jewish peoplehood everywhere, and we are so indebted to her. Mosaic represents an historic insight on the part of the leaders of the State of Israel. It is that in order to strengthen Jewish peoplehood and Zionism, one needs to begin with a foundation of Jewish identity and Jewish connectivity, which is ultimately rooted in Jewish values. 5 years ago, when Israel approved a significant investment through Mosaic in the strengthening of Jewish diaspora, that set the course for a stronger, more sustainable, worldwide Jewish people, which we need everywhere. I offer my tremendous gratitude and blessings to every citizen of Israel who reached deep into their kindness chip to share a deep concern for every brother and sister on every continent throughout the world. If we are going to defeat disconnection and apathy and a weakening of the Jewish people, it is without a doubt going to be assisted considerably from this country, along with committed and worldwide philanthropic Jewry and the indelible mark they are making on the world. My heartfelt blessing is that the Almighty should shower peace, prosperity, good health on all of you and on all your wonderful families and all of Israel and everyone everywhere around the world. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.